you know, you get a lot of people, and we'll touch a lot more on CMOs a bit later, but you get a lot of people going, you know what, I've recorded, so I need to go register my works at some. One, diction is important. You're not registering your works at some.
Okay.
You are notifying your works at some. And you need to clarify who can notify works at some. Not everybody who's in music should notify works at some. So let's use that illustration again of Memes at the song.
Yeah.
Supposing Brenda had just performed the song, Chico wrote everything. Brenda would not have necessarily needed to go register that song at SAMRO. Chico would have, or Chico's publisher.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we get this a lot in our industry now. You get a DJ who commissions the recording of a song, brings 4 different artists onto the studio, and these artists write the songs. One of them composes, and they lace the verses on there. Theoretically, the DJ has no compositional input in there, even though it says DJ YZ featuring the host of artists that are brought on there. I really had no compositional input.
So what I own is the master.
I own the master. I can sell you the song.
Yeah.
But as far as being a member of SAMRO is concerned, those are the 3 people who would have written the lyrics, and the composer would have composed that beat.
Yeah.
And those are the only people who should technically be SAMRO members.
So we have this a lot in Nigeria, because so DJs have found a voice in Nigeria. So they do a lot of collaborations, and which is now leading us to, in a way, people who pay for music that is being consumed. So there's they put out the music. It's DJ X, DJ A, DJ B, and I'm featuring artists ABC, artists DBD. Now the problem is, a lot of the time when payments are being made in terms of publishing and royalties, they're paid to the DJ, because he's considered the owner of the song. But the DJ still earns from like his master's rights and earns from mechanicals, and most of the time people aren't generating any money other than that. So the DJ has taken the song and it's gone. And back home, one of the things I've been trying to tell people or explain to people has been, if you're a big artist doing a song with a smaller artist, because what happens is people say things like, I beg, just do the song, I'll write it, do your thing. They don't care for it. But if you're a big artist, it's actually in your interest to sign split sheets, to have that artist sign, so you keep your rights. And it's because as a big artist, you can negotiate higher percentages. So why don't you just do it and get your percentage and move on? Like, you have it now, and you register yourself to your publisher and say, look, this is the song. Yeah, these are the I've written this. Yeah. Go sort it out. So if that song blows up, you're happy that the artist has succeeded, but you're also making money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's the same thing goes for the DJ collaborations, right? And I think that a lot of the DJs, yes, you own your masters. You should know what you should be earning from that. But then there's also the publishing that has nothing to do with...
Yeah, you as the person who commissioned it...
It has nothing to do with you.
Like that... And I understand a business case where maybe the DJ does have a compositional element in there. Or maybe the DJ just says, listen, I'll put you on the song on condition that I get 10% or 15%, whatever. That's a business case. But here, theoretically speaking, if all you did as the DJ was buy a beat, get 3 artists to come, write their lyrics, one has the hook, the other 2 have their verses, technically you have no compositional share in that song. Ergo, you shouldn't be a member of SAMRO. You shouldn't be a member of Capasso. You shouldn't be a member of COSON. You shouldn't be a member of MCSN. You shouldn't be a member of PRS, because you have no compositional input. And we can touch on the intricacies of where you can be a member of.
Yeah.
Now, that's a different element in there, because half the time, particularly on the continent, and we can illustrate it a bit more, we have what's known as composite CMOs, which means they handle multiple rights. In South Africa, it's a bit different in that we have specialist CMOs. So SAMRO deals only with one right, which is the PR. So the performance rights, that's what SAMRO deals in, the performance right or the public performance of a musical work. That's what they deal with. Then you have a Capasso that deals with the reproduction of that musical work. That's what they deal with. Then you have SAMPRA, which deals with the neighboring rights, which in South Africa is called needle time. So now, as somebody who performed in a song, you might have not sang it. Throw back to the Brenda Fassie Chico illustration. Brenda Fassie would have performed in the song as the main featured artist. There might have been people who did the backtracks. If not, it's just Chico as the secondary performer on that song. She would then earn what's known as needle time or neighboring rights as the featured artist. Chico would be the non-featured performer of the song as the person who composed the beat and played everything in there. So he would theoretically would have, the assumption is he would have played the drums, played the guitar, but technically now it's made easier because you can just play the drums on your computer technically and as you compose. So he would be on there, and if there's any backing vocalists on there, those backing vocalists would also be entitled to needle time. South Africa gets a bit more complicated in that SAMPRA is not the only one that does that. We have another organization called IMPRA that does the very same thing for neighboring rights, particularly for what's known as the more independent labels. And then move away from that, you have two governing bodies, well, not governing bodies, but bodies that represent the recording industry. You have ECHO that represents the independent record labels, the Association of Independent Record Labels. Then you have RISA, which is the recording industry of South Africa. And within them sits what's known as collecting societies for the audiovisual sector. So all your music videos, the music video in itself is a right. It's an audiovisual element. So RAV collects for music videos for its members, and then ECHO collects for music videos for its members.
Okay, so to explain this now, because somebody would have listened to this whole thing and be like,
I know, right?
Right. So to explain this, we're going to use the four people.
The four people, yes.
So the four people. So there's the writer. So let's imagine that they're all different people, right? And the fourth person is the label, right? So the guy who wrote, what does he get?
So we'll call him Thumbelina, right? Thumbelina is the writer. Thumbelina goes to SAMRO and Capasso. That's where Thumbelina goes. Then you get people who perform the song. We'll call them Index.
No, let's leave to Thumbelina now. Thumbelina goes to register with SAMRO. In Nigeria, that would be Koson.
Yes.
Okay. So we have that.
Or MCSN.
Or MCSN. Now we have the guy who made the beats.
So same story there. The guy who made the beat is the composer of the beat. Therefore, they go to SAMRO and Capasso.
Okay, so these two go. So if it's the same person, that person goes and he has all those rights.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fantastic. And they split 50-50.
Depending on the arrangement or the compositional inputs, that's how. But
they're sharing 100.
They share.
Right. So if there are two beat makers, those two beat makers and this person
share.
If there are three writers, all of them are sharing 100.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to the person performing who didn't write.
Who didn't do it. That person then becomes a member of SAMPRA for the neighboring rights. Or IMPRA. Depending on their choice and how they've structured their business. This is the South African market. In Nigeria, that would be COSO or MCSA.
Okay, so COSO is doing a lot. Right, so we have the guy performing. Now we have the label. Where does the label go?
So, how it's supposed to work is for all because the label also shares in the neighboring rights, right? Because their record was being played in public. So what's supposed to happen is when the person who sang, let's stick with the Brenda Fassie situation, God rest her soul. So we stick with Brenda Fassie. So Thumbelina wrote the song, Brenda Fassie performs the song, it's a big hit. But Brenda Fassie is signed to
a label.
I Manage Africa.
Okay. yeah.
So yeah, I Manage Africa said, I like your talent, come to the studio, let's set it up. I Manage Africa owns a studio in this illustration. Brenda comes, performs the song in their studio. It gets released under I Manage Africa. Everybody loves it. It's a big hit. So now, Sampra is split into two.
Okay.
There's the record labels chamber and the performance chamber.
Okay.
Brenda would go to
the
performance chamber, and I Manage Africa would be a member of Sampra or Impra. I'll use them interchangeably.
Okay.
And that way, if 100 Rand comes for this song via neighboring rights, it will be split in half, 50% to the performance chamber, 50% to the record labels chamber. Okay. And from there, it's then split further amongst the performers and the label itself.
Okay.
And then back again to keep with the theme, in Nigeria, that's all Kosan or MCSF.
So,
yeah.
So, this takes me to my next question, because Kosan is doing a lot and they're collecting a lot, because obviously that means whatever this is anywhere else in Africa is paid to Kosan. Whatever revenue is generated in South Africa for a Nigerian artist, neighboring rights and performance rights and composition rights, all of these royalties that are paid, mechanical royalties, all of it is paid to Kosan.
Yeah.
It should be paid to either Kosan or
MCSN.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm Nigerian, right? And I've been told that the sole collecting society is Kosan, right? And because I want to look at how South Africa interacts with the rest of Africa in terms of, okay, so you work for a CMO and there's revenue that is generated for another artist. What is the right way to engage, and what now happens? What's the reality?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. What should happen? What's the reality?
So theoretically, if the utopia, right, the pie in the sky is that every single society, by society I mean every CMO, works hand in hand with every other in every country.
Okay.
So how many states do we have? How many countries do we have?
In Africa?
Yeah.
I think we're up to 52.
52, yeah. 52, 53.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have 53 countries. In each of these countries, God willing, there should be at least one CMO. And that CMO should be basically for representing all those 4 people that we were speaking about. There should be a CMO that either does it all in one or is like CMOs in each of the 52, 53 countries across the continent.
Yeah.
And in a perfect world, a CMO in South Africa collects the money for works having been exploited in South Africa, pays that whatever belongs to their localized members, and then distributes whatever does not belong to them or whatever they've identified as belonging to any other, whether it be Kosan or any other CMO on the continent.
Yeah.
And then that CMO says, okay, thank you very much. We've received foreign income for your work as I Manage Africa or anyone.